Hey guys, Heidi Easley here, Texas Art and Soul and owner of Paint Party Headquarters. And I am excited to have a guest on to talk about doing paint parties. Welcome, Jessie.
Hi.
And do you go by Jessie Rose or just Jessie?
Just Jessie usually. I mean, it depends on who I'm talking to tell you the truth.
Jessie Rose is really cute too. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, tell us real quick who you are and what you do in the art world.
My name's Jessie, and I actually teach public school right now, and I just started doing paint parties back in October. I was telling Heidi earlier that I was kind of looking for an extra way to make money and something to do on the side, as a lot of teachers have to do these days. And her face kept popping up in my Google, how to teach a paint party. And so I started doing that, and it has been a blast. It's taken off, and so I teach paint parties here in my local area in Pittsburgh, Texas.
So Pittsburgh, Texas. So if you're in that area, look her up. What's your business name?
Three Little Birds Paintings.
Oh, that's cute.
With the number 3, because I have 3 little birds.
Oh, that's so cute. I thought about doing like a bird like on my arm, but I feel like I can't pull off a tattoo. I'm so scared. I feel like
Sure.
no, I'm like really starting to think. I'm like, now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, well, I think maybe I could just put, like you start to get where you don't care. Like,
Right.
just put tattoos all over me. I don't care.
Sure. It's another art form,
I think I get scared that I'm going to, because I change my like things I like so much. I think I get scared I'm going to be like, I loved it. And now, because I would have had like a Tinkerbell on my butt that would have been totally outstretched. And a Simba on a giant Simba here if I wouldn't have waited the year. Like I wait a year and then if I still want it in a year, I do it. So those two did not make the cut, but I'm kind of thankful for that at this moment.
Right. Right.
Okay,
yes.
so let's get back to paint party stuff. So about estimate, how many paint parties do you think you've taught since when? Because I think you're new to this, right?
I am very new. My first one was the beginning of October, right around the beginning of October, and I'm just gonna ballpark it at 20-ish, probably, give or take, since October.
Okay, so
that includes both.
So this makes me so happy because she's saying 20-ish since October, and at the time of this filming, we're looking at October, November, December, January at the beginning, 4 months, a little over 4 months.
It's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a fun whirlwind. It's been unbelievable, really. I'm just thrilled at all, like, that it's just taken off and everybody's kind of going with it. So
that's exciting. So are your customers mainly canvas, wood, ceramic? What are they liking?
So far, Heidi, all I have done is canvas. That's all. Honestly, working full time, it's just been kind of hard for me to have the time to try to, I come home from work and, the first thing I do is start, working on my other stuff or whatever. So I actually have to drive about an hour to the nearest Hobby Lobby or Michael's. So that's how far out in the boonies I am. So just a lot of this stuff is not just right there as accessible. And this is stuff that is at a good price point, I feel like, for my area.
So you're
stuck with canvas, I guess.
Okay, so mostly canvas. And how big is your town?
Pittsburgh is about 4,000, and there's about 15 other towns around us that are about 4,000. I'm in, little America out here.
Yeah, it's a small town. I know. I hear that. I hear that a lot. I hear both sides of the story. I hear, well, it's too big of a town, and they all have, all of these things already. And then I hear the same, it's too small of a town, and I'm like, it does not matter. Like you can do this.
Yes, yes.
What would be kind of your biggest tips? Maybe if you could share 2, maybe 3 tips on what has helped you most.
Okay, yeah, sure. The thing that popped into my head first, and I didn't really start off this way, just kind of as I've started meeting people and making connections through paint parties, one of the things that's really helped me out a lot is for me to work with other creatives that are in the area, and we help promote each other. There's a girl that I work with, that we help each other out. She's makes cookies, and which, there's a lot of people around that do that, and the real decorative cookies, and she actually will kind of help me out at a bargain for door prizes and things like that.
Oh.
So not only am I promoting her, but she's also promoting me at the same time, and we're helping each other out on Facebook and word of mouth and things like that. And then I also have a good friend that makes T-shirts, which I know a lot of people are into that and know how to do that kind of creative side of things. And she actually has made me some T-shirts here that say,
Oh, cute.
and they have the 3 little birds on the back. And anyway, so she has helped me in that and helping me with my shirts. And so then she promotes me, I promote her, and we're all in the same boat here. We're all creatives in different ways, and we're, trying to make it in the game. And so I feel like just getting to know other ladies and connecting with them like that, and helping each other out, and not being what's the word, nervous about, I don't know, like somebody's going to take over your territory or your area in that, and helping each other. That's one tip that I would say has really helped me out a lot. Because, girl power and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't even think about like with, the door prizes. I mean, you're there
Yes.
talking about them. Like I've done that a few times with some people, but honestly, it's been something that I have forgotten about. And so I'm glad you brought that up because, I remember a lady who owns a Covered Bridge Inn. It's like this really cool bed and breakfast in Weatherford, about 20 minutes. And she came to a lot of my paint parties. So I bought one of her cookbooks. And so during this big party, I'm advertising for her. And of course, I'm sharing all of my stuff. And it's so true. If you could team up with some of these like other moms or other businesswomen that are trying to do cookies and do a door prize, that's brilliant. I love that. I'm going to start implementing that again.
Right. And it's just the lady that does the cookies. She does a really neat thing where she sends, it's one cookie and she puts an edible palette. They're called Paint Me cookies. So it goes right along with my theme, and I give away this, whatever the theme is, like that flamingo behind me that y'all see. I did a flamingo, and she made a flamingo cookie, and the palette was edible. So you mix it with a little paintbrush and you paint your flamingo cookie, and then you get to eat it. So it goes right along with the paint party. You get to paint anyway.
And then you just pay her a discounted price for the cookies, and then
right. And it's the same amount I would pay for any other door prize if I would go to the dollar store or Walmart, or for one little cookie like that. It's not that expensive. Anyway, that's just one little trick that
I'm writing down my cookie lady here who I love. So I'm writing her down so we can collaborate now.
I guarantee you she would be all about it. I don't know her, but I bet I just got a feeling.
Oh yeah, she's such a good artist. Okay, so number 1 tip was awesome. Okay, what's another tip for the ladies? What do you think?
Well, it's really, there's not a lot that I feel like maybe you haven't told us, but I just kind of feel like, and I don't want to take away anything from anybody that does actually paint along with their parties, because I've been to those kind of parties too, and I've always had a phenomenal time. But I talk a lot. Obviously, we've just been talking,
I know, we're both talkers.
So I want to be able to talk with everybody. Like, I just feel like that is a big, important part of it. I just talked with a new venue Sunday, and one that I haven't done yet, and I'm going to do in March. And she was talking about a previous painter that they had and how he stood and he looked over the shoulder. And she said it kind of stressed us out a little bit because we were, worried that we weren't doing it right. And so I was like, that's not the point to me at all. The point is to have a good time and to make people feel comfortable and not to stress people out. I'm not giving an art lesson here. If they learn some tips and tricks along the way, great, but that's not really the point. I feel like, to me, is to get to know people. Like, I want to get to know people. And I feel like when I go back to these venues again, it's like Cheers. Like, I want everybody to be like, everybody knows your name, that kind of thing. Like, I want to create that community, I guess. I don't know if that's really a tip.
No, that's a great tip, because I can say it over and over and over again, but when somebody else says it that is having success with it, it's different.
Yes.
So yeah, it's so true. And it's not like we're just like, good luck, hope you get it right. That's not what we're saying. There's a difference in showing a technique and then going around and helping tables personally. You're building that relationship. And that's where you're going to have repeat customers. That's where you're going to get referrals.
Right, right. And I have had a lot of people come back several times already just because it's fun. Not necessarily because they're like, well, now I'm a phenomenal painter and I feel like I'm going to go start my own paint party business also. I mean, there's nothing like that. They just like the atmosphere and they want to have, bonding. And I found that a lot of women especially, this might lead into tip 3, I'm not sure.
Oh, look at you. Into tip 3. I like it.
This is where teaching, being a teacher, kind of keep going and going. But I found that a lot of women are coming solo.
Yeah.
Like they don't have anybody to come with them, and not necessarily that they're single or whatever. They may be married or not married, but they're always scared. Well, I can't find a friend to come with me, so I'm not going to go. But then once you finally talk them into getting there and they come by themselves, they meet other ladies that are by themselves and they make connections. And so I've seen that people make friends like just kind of right in front of my eyes, and then they're not scared to come by themselves anymore, So anyway, I don't know where I was going with that as being a tip, but
no, that's good because I like make a point to go, hey, have y'all met each other? Go ahead and meet each other. Maybe you're in the same neighborhood, whatever, because that's so true because, I only have a few artsy friends that would want to sit with me and paint, right?
Right.
A lot of my friends aren't that way. And so when you can go to a place where everybody wants to do the same thing, why not meet up every month and continue that friendship?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess the only other thing that I've kind of taken away from this, just in the past few months, really, and probably the hardest thing, I guess, as far as, like I said, I don't know if this is considered a tip or not, but I see your sign in the background and it says fear is a liar. That's why it reminded me, is just to not be scared. I remember when I first did this in October and I sat in front of my computer just like I'm doing right now, and I typed in the message that you gave me and I just sat and looked at it. Not hitting it, and I literally did that for a week before I hit the enter button. Why can't I do that? I mean, yes. I mean, I came back and I'd look at it again and I'd go, nope, not today. I'd walk
no way.
At least I know. And I'd talk about it and, to myself and reasons why I didn't need to do it right now and that sort of thing. So I guess my tip is just do it. Just do it. Hit the enter button. Don't stare at the message for a week like I did, because once I did and I sent the 5 venues, I think I got 2 back. I didn't get them all back or whatever, but then it took off after that. And now I'm getting messages like the new venue that I just said, they contacted me. They had heard about me. I'm going, heard about me?
Yes.
You're talking about me? Oh my gosh, So anyway, I guess just don't be scared, because I definitely wasn't. I still am for sure. I mean, the jitters are there every single time, but now they're like excited jitters. They're not so much scared jitters, I guess.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if that's the tip you're looking for, but
no, that's great. I can't believe it took you a week. And I just want to spill the secret. We are all terrified.
Yes.
all the time. Like, there's things I do now that I'm like, even yesterday with Paint Party Outer Limits, I even told them at the beginning, I was like, I was so nervous and I was praying beforehand and I was, asking some of my friends to pray because, we are scared anytime we start something new, it's scary.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. But it gets easier. It gets easier every time you say yes, and every time you just go for it. It gets a little less scary every time. So if you're behind the computer right now, wait to hit that enter button. Just do it. Just click it. Just click. It's all you got to do. Just that motion right there.
All they can do is ignore you or say no, and that literally is not a big deal. That's the worst that can happen.
Absolutely. Nobody's been rude. You're right. The worst I've gotten is somebody not responding.
Right.
And that's,
that's normal. That's like part of the process.
Yes. We even do that sometimes when people send us text messages. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
Yeah. Or, people legitimately they get 1,000 or they're not on their phone. Not everybody's on their phone all the time. So
exactly.
Don't take offense to it. It's part of the process. But I love that that it took you a week, but here you are, like 4 months out, and have
Yeah,
taught around 20 something parties
I know,
while
it's crazy.
teaching full time. That's pretty
Yes.
impressive.
Yes. And I've got a little one. I've got a 7-year-old. And so, I mean, and that's hard too, trying to keep the balance. And you feel all these things like I'm not paying enough attention and da da da. But I mean, my son is actually my biggest advocate. He thinks it's cool. When I told him I was going to talk to you tonight, he was like, what if y'all get famous? I mean, what if like I'll go into the Art Hall of Fame? And I'm like, yes.
Well,
He's 7, keep in mind. I'm like, okay. He's got things.
And Kevin, he could be helping you. Like Pixie started when she was 5.5. She's been helping since. So she passed.
That is awesome.
I have 2 paint parties on Thursday and Saturday, and then I have to be somewhere. I'm flying out on Friday, so I have this hectic schedule the end of the week. And I was like, Pixie, I need you to step up. I'm paying you, and you got to prep all my parties. And she did it all. I mean, so if you just start training him, he'll be like,
yes. Hey, that can be tip number 4. Train your kids to help you, because I actually have a allowance jar. We use cotton balls equal certain amounts of money, and I did just what you did. If he loads so many things, he gets so many cotton balls in his allowance jar. Maybe that's bribery. I don't know, but whatever, it works. So
I think if it's our kids and we're, teaching them the ethics of
yes,
earning a living and working hard, I don't see the problem in it.
I agree 100%. So tip number 4,
Yeah.
get your children. No.
Children involved. No, and it really is cool to like see them involved. And we're trying to plan our we do this every year, summer vacation, where we go to Florida and we do this big road trip. And so I asked Pixie today, actually, and I said, hey, are you up for the road trip again? She's 13, so she's kind of in this weird phase. And I'm like, are you up for it? She's like, yes, Mama, yes, I want to go. And I'm like, okay, because when I start setting stuff in motion, it doesn't stop. So we need
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So she helps the whole time, and then all the money she makes from it, she uses it some fun thing that we do while we're there. So I'm all about that and teaching
That's
them.
right. That's good. That's good. Yeah, he's all about it, and I've definitely found that through all this, he's actually, like I said, he's been one of my biggest advocates, and so that's cool. I'm glad he's on board. He makes me excited, so it makes him excited.
Well, and I'm sure putting some of that paint money aside, and you can do fun things with him.
Exactly.
Do more paint parties.
Yes. We just went to Jurassic something or whatever boys did, Jurassic Quest or something. I think there was one that came through Dallas actually, and it was from paint party money. That was because I had extra money set aside from these paint parties, and I told him that too. I made sure he knew this is for my paint parties. So see, you're helping Mom get us to Jurassic, see the dinosaurs or whatever. Like,
yeah, they need to know that. They need to understand, not just everything's free. So
exactly.
All right. Well, any last final thoughts of encouragement, or that you want to leave with everybody?
I would just say, help your sisters and brothers out if they're out there. I've actually had a lot more men start coming to my paint parties when they realize it's not that bad and it's not really just a girl thing. But just like with the other creatives that I was talking about, don't discount those people in your area. Like, get together and help each other out. I've just really been surprised at how quick I have being a creative, your mind kind of works a little different, I guess. Yeah. And you can bond with others that are, some people kind of look at this sometimes, and I think you've said this before, they look at like paint parties or painting or being an artist as it's not a real job. Mm-hmm. Or a real thing that people really do to make an income. And that's just not true. That's just not true. And, I want to try to help put it into that sort of stigma. And maybe that's not so much in the bigger cities, maybe it's not like that. But out here in the sticks, when people go, what do you do? Oh, I'm an artist. They go, what? You make money doing that?
Yeah.
So it's helpful when you have the cookie maker and the t-shirt lady and the girl who makes earrings, and stuff, and you can all kind of get together, and then it's not so taboo, and you're not so weird,
No, and it was on a movie or something. They said your whole high school career, you're trying to fit in. You're trying to be the normal person, you know, but then as soon as you leave, everybody's trying to be the artsy, the creative.
Yes.
Like, now we're finally the cool kids, where before we
Right.
were always the nerds and nobody wanted to be around us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. But now everybody wants to be an artist or an entrepreneur or whatever the case is. So.
That's right. That's right. So we got to help each other out, you know, just got to help each other out.
I know as you talk, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to call so-and-so. I need to write down names of people in my area. So yeah, that's a huge tip. So yeah, definitely collaborate for door prizes, and then you're able to, they can post on their page about it. You can post on your page. You can talk about them at your parties. They can give discounts. Another big thing, we like having our kids help us. Yes. Another thing, make sure you're pushing that button. So like she waited a week. Now she's at 20 something parties in 4 months, and she waited a week and kept giving herself these excuses. And guys, in the grand scheme of things, we are all doing this terrified. Just so you know. So just
absolutely.
Move forward anyway. So one last way, where can they find you on Facebook or Instagram if they want to follow you?
3 Little Birds Paintings on Facebook, and on Instagram, I think it's 3 Little Birds _ Jessie Rose.
Okay, with the number 3.
Yes, the number 3.
3 Little Birds. Okay, awesome. So everybody go follow her and see what she's up to. And we just appreciate so much for you sharing all these tips. And y'all have a good day. Bye, guys.
Thanks. Bye.